Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for the welcome introduction, Halim. And as you mentioned, my name is Olena Lima, and I am presenting from Australia. I'm based in Australia for the last 16 years. But as you can probably notice my European accent, I'm originally from Ukraine, and I moved to Australia and started my association career in Australia 16 years ago. When I joined associations, my career started in one of the associations in Australia, and then I moved from one association to another, and I've been in the association sector since 2010, and after working with a number of associations, 10 years ago, I launched the member board. Member board is the digital marketing agency working with associations and focusing on associations marketing. And we also launched the membership marketing school that now combines more than 500 participants from around the world. We work with associations globally. I've just returned from delivering a lot of training in Texas. So I'm bringing this global experience and seeing, the trends and problems and issues and opportunities that the associations facing all around the world. And as you can see on the screen, this is my family, and you see my 22-year-old son, who I will have quite a few references to in terms of engaging the younger generation, because we all know that across the globe, we're all having our interesting relationships with Gen Z and how they're joining to associations and their essence of belonging. So before we dive into, I really would like to discuss how traditional marketing differs from membership marketing. And there are quite a few differences. So if you look at the traditional marketing, it's transactional. You go to the shop and you buy something. You go to the holidays and you visit a hotel. You might buy a car and get some service afterwards, but it's still very much transactional. Then we have the subscription marketing with the products like Spotify, Netflix, your gym membership, or any software subscription that you have, like Microsoft Office or any other software subscription. While the transaction goes monthly and it's repeated transaction similar to membership, but it's still very transactional and you're not developing a relationship with organization. While memberships, the Toastmasters or any community membership or any association in the world, we based our relationship with our clients based on relationships, relationship building, community, and exclusive access to different materials. So, and let's be honest, it's not so easy. First, associations work with limited budgets. So we usually have smaller teams, and we usually have, because our product is so complex, we have the tech confusion, because we need to create with our technology this overview of member experience, which includes events, membership, community involvement, and we need to measure the member engagement. And with our technology, again, because we have a smaller budgets, associations not always can afford, high level technology. So, and that's hence we go into this, we're trying to deliver more, we're trying to build the relationships, and we're trying to engage with the members throughout their lifetime, but we have these limited budgets. And at the same time, we also have the engagement fatigue from all people. People are busy, people are not responding to the emails go into the spam folder, and so on and so forth. Saying that, the good news that, and this is what my session is all about, is that associations do have some superpowers. First, every single association have abundance of resources. If you look into your member library, if you look at your events that you're delivering, if you look through the training that you deliver, you can reuse this content into your marketing to communicate your value. Also, our community is a great resource that other organizations don't have. Again, our relationship with our members is not transactional, and if you are able to build this community, it's great for your membership, and it gives this emotional reason for people to stay, not only transactional. We also have the great resource of co-creation with our members. We invite our members to create our own content, and not many businesses in the world have this opportunity. So every time when speaker speaks at your events, every time when members write some blog article, every time when you produce any advocacy documents, you co-create this content with your members. And also the AI. I really encourage you to use AI for your marketing, and we will dive into this a little bit deeper. So in our membership marketing, we've been working with many associations all around the world, helping associations grow their membership. And the membership growth is always a combination of member retention and member acquisition. So we've developed this membership marketing cycle that helps us deliver the optimized and budget-wise marketing for these small teams, and with all this to address all these problems that we discussed before. So these cycles go into the 5 stages: understand, nurture, grow, optimize, and thrive. And I would like to invite you to go through these stages with me, and for you to better to remember. And because I'm absolutely fitness freak, I love fitness, I also would like to have some analogy with gym to go through this cycle. So first, so you remember. And second, because I personally really believe that association membership is really like a gym membership. Imagine that you find the most expensive gym in your city, and you could even hire the most expensive personal trainer. Unless you pick up your bum from the couch and go to the gym, you're not going to become fitter. Same things happens with association membership. Unless members participate, unless members being involved, unless members use resources, get through the training, get certification, and then get promotion from work, go to the events and build connections with the members, they are not going to see the value. And what happens when members don't see the value? They come back to you and they say, there is no value in a membership, I'm not renewing. So it's our job as association professionals to make members engage and to make members, participate in your activities. So going through, taking the analogy of association as a gym. First, you need to understand and get the pulse and the heart rate of your membership. So what I mean with understanding, you understand your members, the health check of your membership, marketing metrics and reporting, a market research to understand members' needs, members' interest, and what type of content resonates with them. It can include all the member satisfaction survey and an analysis of your competitors of what works and what doesn't. I really encourage you to plan these type of understand activities every month in your marketing, because this insight will guide so you don't waste your marketing. This is the first step of optimizing your marketing initiatives, is to actually making sure what works. Unless you understand what previous month's marketing initiative brought you value, or last year initiative, you just will be, wasting your resources and doing things like that. So, keeping these hands on the pulse. And we have the whole array of membership metrics, of digital marketing metrics, starting from the speed of your website to social media engagement rate, and to member engagement and member engagement score, and and content contribution and email click-through, and you're like, oh my God, this is so much. So what metrics I need to pay attention to? So if you would ask me if you were to track 6 metrics. I would really recommend to track member retention and satisfaction, obviously very, very important metrics. Your member engagement, because unless tracking member engagement helps you keep the member retention up. It's a click-through rate through all your digital assets. It's not an open rate in your emails. It's not impression in your social media. It's the click-through that helps you understand the relevance of your content, whether it works, whether people click, whether you're sharing the relevant content, and whether you the content resonates with your members. And very important part, it's actually lead generation and conversion. It's usually, this is not the terms that we're using in association marketing. However, membership, it's the same product as any other product, and we go through the sales funnel in order to invite people. Unless you're building your community of non-members and invite non-members into your community, there won't be people you can invite to your membership. And we will go through this a little bit later. And if you would ask me to pick 3 important metrics among these 6, I would say it would be member retention, lead generation, and conversion. This is your 3 most important metrics that in your membership that you have to track. And if you look your membership growth, the conversion, and member retention, will put your association into one of the 4 buckets. Every single association in the world can be in one of these 4 buckets. So I really encourage you to look into this graph now and think where your association is now. So you can see that in the horizontal line, it's membership growth rate. So it's how quickly you acquire new members, how many new members join your association every year. And then retention rate is your retention rate. So how many members you retain. So if your retention rate and your membership growth rate are high, you're in a healthy join, continue what you're doing. There are not many people like you, so enjoy the pain. If your retention is low, but your membership growth rate is high, you are in a leaking bucket situation. So you acquiring new members, but they are not staying. Your retention rate is 70, below 80%, and people are leaving all the time. So you have to work very, very, very hard in order to to fill this leaking bucket. So our recommendation in this point is to stop acquisition and plug the leak first, because you never can fill the leaking bucket. If your member retention rate is high, but your membership growth rate is low, it means you are in a fixed acquisition engine bucket, which means your member value proposition is very good, but market doesn't know. And this is where you need to turn on your marketing initiatives and your marketing effort in order to let non-members know how great it is. So usually it's a marketing fail if you are in this green bucket. And then you also have the burning platform, is when you have low retention and low membership growth rate. Let's just put it this way, you are in trouble. So, fix retention first and then start worrying about the growth. So you can see if you have the low member retention rate, it's always stop the acquisition, fix the retention, because there is no point to bring new people. Because if people join in, they get bad member experience, they go and they say to everyone, don't waste your time. It's not worth your money and your time to join this association. So really always important to fix the retention first. So there are 2 scenarios of the leaking bucket. If your membership retention is low, there are 2 scenarios for that. First scenario is very sad scenario. There is no value. And we see this a lot in old associations. There are a lot of associations like this in US, when associations been on the market for 200 years, and they just have this mentality that people join just because. We don't need to provide the value. And you say, okay, so are you providing any industry reports? We don't have the budget for that. Are you providing any community? We don't know how to do that. They will find any excuses. Either they don't want to understand member needs and provide the value, or they don't want to provide value. So it's a very tricky situation. You really need to work with the board on changing the strategy. Another scenario of the low retention is that you have the great value to offer, but the marketing is weak. And weak marketing works. People don't know about your member value, like about your content, about your events. You're not communicating with your members. You don't identify people who are not engaging, so you can re-engage them and make sure that they go to the gym. And this is a situation, this is very, very, very easy to fix with marketing effort. So now we also go into the scenario of low acquisition. And there are also two scenarios here. So first, you don't have the pipeline. You don't invite non-members, and you are not providing value to your non-members. You need to build the relationships with your non-members. You have to show them a little sneak peek of what's happening behind the closed door of the membership. So, for example, I say this always: take your membership as a blockbuster, as a great movie, and your marketing is the little trailer of this blockbuster, this little 30 seconds clip that you show to your members in order to show them what's there, what's behind the scenes. So it's very, very important. And also, it's very important to build this pipeline, and then, for example, to invite people to participate at your events, or invite people to some free webinars, or for them to be able to subscribe to a newsletter. So you're building the relationships with them, and show this report is available to members only. And this webinar is free for our members, and also we have the community for members only, but they need to know. And unless you build this relationship with them consistently, they won't know. And then another scenario of the low acquisition is no conversion initiatives. So we have a lot of clients, they have, for example, 32,000 of email subscribers, but there are only 6,000 in their membership. What it means, they're not doing the work and not inviting these non-members to invite their membership. People need the reminder, people need this proactive, marketers call it call to action, in order to join the membership. So I would like to really encourage you to, to think and identify. We developed the online calculator where you can actually put your data and put your data, how many members you have last year, how many members you have this year, how many non-members you have, and this will provide you and show you where in this health quadrant you are. So we will obviously share the slide so you will be able to download. So this little tool, it includes the member health dashboard. So it includes the calculator that will calculate your retention rate, your grace rate. It also calculates your questionnaire, so you can answer the question to understand where you are. Do you have low conversion, or do you have no value in this type of, and it will put you in the right quadrant so you can optimize your marketing effort. And if you would like to dive deeper into all the metrics, this is where you will need to go and read a little bit more how to use these numbers. So stop about understanding. Let's move to the nutrition. And in any fitness, unless you eat well, you are not going to perform. So, and every single dietitian and every single nutritionist will tell you, in order to lose weight, you actually need to eat. So what nutrition means in our membership, it's nurturing our current communities. And this is what I'm saying all the time: make sure that your retention is high, make sure that members stay. So you're nurturing your members with your member value proposition, defining and communicating your member benefits and making sure members use them. ongoing member engagement and member involvement, such as volunteering, speaking, and etc. Because the more people give, the more people emotionally connected to your association. A very important part in nurturing member communities, it's I would like to ask you a question, but a lot of us would know the retention rate of our association. But if I ask you, how many members in your community are actually engaged? What percentage of members in your community read your emails, go to your events, participate into any advocacy effort? How many members are active and how many members are dormant? Our job as association marketers is make sure these dormant members participate, that we wake them up with marketing automation. It's very important to understand them in order so we can make sure that they participate and that they start seeing the value. Remember this, going to the gym, we need to go to the gym to become fitter. We need to participate in association activities in order to see the value of the membership. So identifying those people who are not participating earlier in the membership cycle, not at the end of the membership year with the renewal campaigns, renew, and we will call you when it's time to renew, but identifying them earlier and making sure that they see the value, not only receiving your renewal notice. And if you look at the global memberships, there are 4 reasons why people stay. People join associations for discount and content. They can join the association to get the discount for the conference. They can join the association for the report, or as a student joining after university. But they stay for the community and credibility. So if your association provides the results, if people see the results, I'm a member, and for example, I'm a member of an association and I get the clients because I have credibility, I will see the results of this membership and I will never leave. The community and belonging a very big part of people's decision to stay, and sometimes we build with the membership. Membership stays with us sometimes for our whole life. We leave the university, we join as an early career professional, we continue as a professional, we get married, we go to maternity leave, we come back from maternity leave, we go and retire, and this association is still in our inboxes for the whole life. And all the people around us, that we make the friendships and connections, there is no way we can discount, but to go to this one, association need to put an effort. So another one is convenience. If you provide any tools that I can save the time, if, for example, you provide any HR services or any insurance services or, anything that's help people save their time, they will also stay. And if you ask me, among all of these 4 reasons to stay, which one is the most powerful one? I will tell you is community and belonging. And I will give you a very good example from my fitness life. So I told you I'm fitness gym. I'm in the gym 5 a.m. every morning. And I'm going to one of the most expensive gyms in my area. And I can tell you lately, they really started to drop their service. The taps are leaking, the sauna is not working. There are lots of issues that we have with their management. But I cannot change the gym because I have all my buddies there. And I go there at 5:30 to see them all. The association belonging and association community plays essential role into them. So invest their time. As I mentioned, I run membership marketing school, and last year we ran the community management course with the founder of community management in Australia. She's the founder of Community Management Association. She runs community for biggest brands in Australia. And we couldn't get the interest. If I get a course run by email marketing or membership growth, I had 50 people in my course. For that course, we couldn't recruit the students because associations like, no, community management is not something that we build. At the same time, the corporate organizations building the communities, they are taking your time to run the events, to get people together, and they get people time from your membership into theirs. So really encourage you to pay attention to the community building. I also would like to look into the reasons people leave. So we looked into the reasons people stay. Now let's look into the reasons people leave. So some of them will leave because of the external factors. People change careers, they retire, they die. It's normal. If you have organizational membership, there is merger and acquisition, businesses close. It's very natural to have, if you use the calculator before and you have 100% or especially more than 100% retention rate, it means that your calculations are not right. So, it's very normal to have retention, some type of attrition. There is nothing you can do with that. There are short-term reasons for people to leave. I forgot to renew. This is the great news for you. It's very easy to fix. This is fixed with efficient marketing. There are sometimes the differences in values and views. Example of them can be your association take a stand on some kind of political issue that you're running advocacy for that your members may not agree. Or for example, you try to build relationships with the younger audiences and you lose this connection and relationships with your older audience. So sometimes your value you kind of break up with your members sometimes. And the strategy review, sometimes it's easier to let people go, and sometimes strategy review helps to fix this. And another one is association service, which is lack of value. And another way how we can hear that there is no value, people can say, we don't have time to use your membership, because if people see the value, they will dedicate the time. People can also say, it's too expensive. It's another way to say there is no value. Again, if people see the value in your membership, they will have time and resources to maintain it. So really interesting this perspective in looking into busy professions like doctors. We don't have time to use membership, but if you provide something really valuable, they will find the time. So now, as we looked into the member retention, and let's say you fixed your leaking bucket and your member retention is high, let's look into how you can acquire your members and how you can grow your membership. And the growing your membership you do with all the general marketing tools that you can read on about any in any marketing book. It's increasing brand awareness, it's PR, it's traditional digital advertising, lead generation initiatives, and so on and so forth. So this is all the marketing techniques that you usually use in traditional marketing. What I would like to talk about into the growth slide is putting things into perspectives and giving you an example of how you can calculate of how many exactly how many members you need to recruit. So as I mentioned, membership growth, it's always two-folded. It's your retention and your recruitment. Without a balance between the two, associations' efforts to grow community can become like trying to fill the leaking bucket. So let's look into the numbers. Let's imagine you have 6,000 members in your association. And let's imagine you have 85% retention rate, which is a solid retention rate. With this 85 retention rate, we say it's a good retention rate, you can start your acquisition effort. And even with 85 retention rate, you will be losing 900 members annually. It's just natural attrition. As I mentioned before, people retire, organizations close. It's attrition. So in order to ensure a steady and sustainable expansion and a steady and sustainable growth, we recommend 7 to 10% annual growth rate. So if you would like to grow, 7-10%, you will need to recruit around 1,500 to 2,000 members annually in order to compensate for the members, these 900 members that you're losing. So you will have, if you're recruiting only 900 members annually, you are just staying on the same rate. In order for you to grow, you will need to recruit 1,500 to 2,000 members. And at this rate, you would be able to reach to 10,000 members in 5 years. So just make this calculation for your associations. I really encourage you to look into the numbers, how many people in numbers we lose, what does our 75 and 90% retention rate mean in numbers, and how many members we need to recruit annually in order to grow. And as I mentioned before, very, very important is to grow this non-member audience. And in this calculator that I mentioned before, we're also asking you, what's your non-member audience? How many new email subscribers you have in your audience, and how many new members you acquired, which will show you your conversion rate. How many of these members you retained after 1 year and turn into the long-term members. So this funnel is very important, and without growing this non-member audience, you will not have people to convert. So another part of our membership marketing cycle is optimize. So you are probably too confused and too many metrics, too many activities, too many things to do. So Olena, how do we do this? You just told us that we have small teams and small budget. How we do all this? And this is where you look into your technology. We are living in the era of technology where we can use our MarTech, our marketing technology, which is our association management system, our software, our email marketing system, our online communities, and how we effectively using data in order to understand what members are not engaged and how can we re-engage, what type of automation we need to set up. The problem is we have, unfortunately, this expectation from technology that we pay some dollars to our expensive CRM system, and then it just doesn't work. Any system, any technology needs time investment in order to learn how to use it, and it needs time and investment in order to set it up. So automations are not going to run by itself. If you're planning to do the member onboarding journey, or if you're planning to do effective re-engagement campaign of those members, you need to look into this. You need to be able to read the data, and you need to be able to to use the technology in order to do, because obviously you cannot do all this manually. And then the last section of our cycle is this Thrive. And Thrive is all about thriving communities. It's about looking into your membership model, looking into your payment cycles, whether it's still working, whether it's still relevant, whether you're using all the things that current members are used to. Are you offering the monthly membership? Is it something that your members expect? All the DEI, the diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives, do you have any underrepresented groups in your community? All the special interest groups, thinking about accessibility and all this type of things. The Thrive section of our membership cycle, it's for more advanced association. It's, in case if you know your membership well, you identified everything, you nurture your community, your retention rate is high, your growth rate and acquisition rate is high, you optimize your technology, then you can start thinking about this Thrive marketing initiatives are for those people who are in this healthy zone in their health check. So when we work with our clients, we run by monthly. We have a lot of clients who work with us month after month, year after year, and for them we provide the marketing services. So we run them on a framework. Every single month we review their marketing initiatives, and we say, how can we better understand our members? What type of survey do we run? What type of metrics do we look into this month? You cannot physically look into all the metrics all the time. So sometimes you put, let's say twice a year, we check Google Analytics and go into the deep dive into our SEO, right? And then another 2 months, a year, you look into your social media metrics. But put this in your calendar, because unless it's in your calendar, it doesn't exist. So then what type of initiatives are we running in order to nurture our membership? Are we launching the new onboarding sequence? Are we launching the new member engagement sequence? Are we trying to set up our data in order to understand what members are not engaging, and so on and so forth. How can we increase in the value? What type of marketing initiatives are you running in order to grow your membership? How do you acquiring new members? How do you, making sure that your members have this, a growth pipeline too? And also investing some time into optimizing your technology, setting up automations, explore new pieces of software. There is always something to do in the software. And then for those who are a little bit advanced, also what type of initiatives we make in order to make our community thrive. So we have this framework in order to, review and put into the calendar to certain things. So what I would like to show you in terms of, our whole session is about, how to do this effectively and on a budget. So associations thrive and live on content. Everything that you produce is content. Your website, your blog articles, your member updates, your newsletters, your automation sequences. It's all part of your content plan. And unless you deliver this content in a nice and structured and efficient way, you create these, situations when people either leave because they don't know the value of your membership, or you don't acquire the new members because they don't know the value of membership. So how do you manage the content efficiently and not just, being on this treadmill of content generation all the time? And in our experience of working with associations, we have two common challenges with content. The first one, we have so much content, we have so many events, we have so much in our library, but we don't have time and resources to manage this. And we don't have time to create the resources. We don't have, it's all there, but we actually don't, we never have time to post on social media. We never have time to create the proper newsletter. And another situation is we have so much that our audience is overwhelmed and they lose the traction. We send so many newsletters, we overwhelm our members that they tune out, they unsubscribe, or they don't read. So there are two situations, and they are bad in their own ways. So when we say in order to optimize in the content, we always looking into the member journey. So member journey has 5 different stages. First, how you generate awareness. Those people who are who don't know about your association yet, they just finding out the first time. Then they go into the consideration mode and they think, is this association worth my time? Is it worth me joining? Then they go into they make a decision to join, and they need the onboarding. So their question at this time is, where do I start? How do I get engaged? And then you go into the engagement stage when you engage with the members, and the involvement when you invite people to volunteer and be a co-creator of your content. So the great news is, and where the efficient marketing comes in, is that the content that you create at the 3rd stage of your member journey, all your member value proposition, can be repurposed in order to generate awareness in recruitment. And I will give you an example. So for example, if you're running a very successful webinar that you have lots of people registered to, you can repurpose this webinar and create lead generation tool from it, and create a landing page where people leave their email addresses in order to watch this webinar, which means they starting building relationship with you. So in order to, you make this webinar evergreen, they call it, so the webinar that people can watch again and again, and you collect their emails and their details in order to continue building relationships with them. Another example of reusing the member benefits is, any of your training, any of your micro-learning, any of your conferences that you have. Let's say you run a conference, and one of the sessions really, really resonate with members. You see that the room is full, that there were no other people, and you feel sad that these ideas only stayed within this, whether you run conference for 100 people or 1,000 people room, and it doesn't go further. So you can collaborate with your speaker in order to co-create, and you ask them, do you mind if we repurpose this? Your session was so popular. Can we repurpose this into the blog? Can we repurpose this in our social media content? And you co-create with your speaker in order to create a little bit more content for your content calendar. Another example can be collecting your member stories. And, these member, as I mentioned, associations are communities. And sharing member stories is a very, very powerful tool to show the power of this community. And creating an easy digital tool and easy digital form where you collect responses showed us and proven us incredible amount how you can collect the stories. And when with help of AI, you create the blog articles and share member stories. They go absolutely crazy on your social media. People share, people love people's stories, and you show this power of your community. This is the way how you can promote your community. So this is kind of the way how you take the content from that you create in your member value into this membership, and you just reuse it a little bit. And AI have, a lot of role to play with this, how you can reuse it. And you show, remember I was telling you your training, your member-only resources, they are the blockbuster. How can you do the little sneak peek and little preview of them to show to the non-members for them to join and to bring them to the journey with you? And so I would like to show you how to, practically create this content calendar. So you kind of plan, and it's a very, very practical tool. So first, with working with our associations, we identify 7 very important pillars that they need to share with their community. The first one is lead. And when I say lead, it's your thought leadership. You build your authority and position as a trusted source of information to go to. The second pillar is promote. And this is where I don't need to teach you what to do, because all associations are very good with promoting events, promoting the training. And if you look at the 85% of association social media, they will be buy this, register for the event, last call to register, this, so we are doing this very well, but we need to make sure that our promotional posts are also balanced with all the other posts. Our other content needs to be all about grow your community, build your community to attract new followers. So it's those landing pages. Simple call of subscribe to our newsletter can be an action point for you to grow your community and invite these members into your email list. Then the content pillar to convert. So what do you do in order to convert non-members into members? And you will be very surprised to see how many people don't run ongoing member promotional campaign. They don't show member benefits all the time, and they just assume people know, but this is not true. So it's very, very important to run some kind of events of converting your non-members into members. The pillar number 5 is tell a story. Share this story from your community, collect the stories, testimonials, put the faces against your community so people know what people are in, and share their stories of how your membership bring the success to them. Then another pillar is engage. It's when you actually spark the conversation, when you ask the question, and it can be in the way of survey, advocacy, or any social media polls that you have, or even asking the question so people answer and engage. So this engaging content is very important. And then another pillar is the spotlight, which is you saying thank you to your sponsors and partners, and we know how important it is. So let's look at the content calendar. So you see the content calendar on the slide, and let's assume it's one imaginary month. So first thing that I really encourage you to do is to plan your lead content. It's any industry updates, your SEO update, your chair update. It's any blog articles that you produce. It's any industry reports that you produce. Anything that builds authority and shows that members can trust you. I really recommend you to schedule this post at least. And we're talking now about the social media schedule here. So to schedule this post at least once a week. Then you can see that I skipped the promote stage because, as I mentioned, we are very quick to fill in our social media calendar with promotion. So think about how you can grow your membership. You can create the landing page with the resource download, where you can invite people to subscribe to your newsletter. You can create the different interactive quizzes or digital tools. And then to follow these posts up, you need the post to convert. This would be a membership promotion, promoting your member benefit. If you look at your page with member benefit, you would probably have a list of 10, 15, 20 member benefits. Create every single benefit in a social media post promoting this benefit. And then also include each of these benefits at the bottom of your every newsletter to remind people this is available, to remind people to be engaged. And then next one is tell a story and engage. So you can see we can put the member spotlights, new member welcome, member testimonial, member survey, ask a question, and then obviously promote. Event promotion, training promotion, early bird registration, webinar promotion, everything like that. So you can see that very quickly we've filled in our calendar with a very diverse range of different posts. And I know from experience that every single associations have content. It's just the matter of turning this content in a smart way and filling this calendar. This is one of the example of what we've done recently for the Australasian Menopause Society. So they came to us with the brief to run a member survey for the non-members to find from the non-members why they don't join and what they need, what problems they experience. So, and we asked them, how are you planning to use this survey? And they said, it's for the board. It's for us to understand what content they need, what webinars they provide. And I said, why can't we, use this survey as a marketing tool? So we ran the survey, and all the findings from the survey, we asked the questions: what keep you up at night? What are the challenges in the industry? What would be helpful for you if we do? And you can see that we turned this into the 4 months of marketing content, talking about the problems that the general practitioners are now experiencing in managing menopause, and just created this post with we also use this lead generation tool, so people were able to download the report, and we turned this into this, marketing report. So members were happy because we listened and we provided the feedback back. The non-members were finding about association. The media picked up and had the interview. So it's a very, very great tool. Another example is the South Australia tourism industry. They reached out to me at the beginning of this year and they said, Olena, we ran this webinar. We had more than 150 people registered for the webinar. It seems like it's very interesting. What can we do? And the interesting part is that they had this more than 150 people registrations without any promotion. So they didn't promote it on social media and stuff. And I said, look, it's obviously very, popular topic. So let's think, how can we, how can we show this to more members? So we turned this into the landing page where people could watch this webinar on demand later. So, you can see it's advertised who it is for, what they will be watching, and people were registering and getting the access to the recorded webinar and the report. And then we also put people through the automated sequence in order to introduce what TICSA is, what they offer, what type of information they will be receiving, and then gentle invitation to the membership. So this is just a few kind of case studies that I wanted for you to share, so you can think, how can you use existing content as member surveys, as existing webinars, in order to turn them into your marketing resources and marketing machine in order to invite new members. And that takes me back to the end of the presentation. This is a little QR code for your feedback. If you have any feedback, we will be sharing the slides anyway, so you don't need to request the feedback. We will be sharing them. But if you would like to leave any feedback in order how to make this session better, I would really appreciate this. This is actually the last session. We ran this session in Philippines, in the US, obviously in Australia and New Zealand. So you're the last time zone where we're delivering this session. So I would still appreciate this feedback. Now I'm stop sharing my slides and invite you to ask the questions.
Thank you so much, Olena, for the insightful contributions and ideas and experience. It was very well presented. So I'm asking my colleagues attending with us today, any questions?
Any questions? And please do not write in the chat. Please turn on your video and microphone and let's be human and chat. If anyone have any questions. Hi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Olena, for this insightful presentation. I have just one question regarding the content calendar. I like how you presented it. And that's like usually the way I'm thinking when I'm putting together the content calendar also for the clients. But it's like the question is more about the frequency of posting, because based on this content calendar, you're posting 5 days a week. Do you think that's an okay frequency? Isn't it overwhelming for the target audience? Do you think to take it a little bit down, or like?
So in social media, unless look, if we're talking about the email, it's a very different approach. So how you build your newsletter, you take your content from the March, from your month's content, and you put in the once newsletter, and you can send it once monthly or once weekly, depending on the frequency on your audience. In a social media, seriously, you can post 2 or 3 times a day. People won't notice. How social media algorithm, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, how it works, only 10% of your subscribers actually see your content. So don't think that every single that you post on social, people will actually see. It goes unnoticed. And actually, in the social media, unless you post every day, the algorithm reads your social media accounts as non-active. So please do not be afraid. And in social media, you can post, like, if we are talking about if you go to any influencer type of social, they actually recommend to post 3 times a day. We're obviously not overwhelming, we just don't have resources to do this. But please, on social, you can post as much as you want.
Yeah, it makes sense. But what about Instagram, where like there is that grid, and when they scroll, if you post a lot, like if someone
people won't see it. People won't see it. The algorithm won't show your posts. Just try to go to any very active accounts that you're, those accounts with 1 million followers, like those who post, and actually go to their account and scroll through their posts, and you will see that you didn't see half of these posts in your feed. Unless you actively go to their account, they don't pop up on your feed, because this is how algorithms work.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Olena, may I ask you a question? It may be a secret to do it once. What is the best tool or action to do when you are balancing attracting new members and retaining old members in one action monthly in your association, for example?
So look, as I say, you take first think about your existing members and what you deliver to existing members, and serve your existing members to your best possibility. Whether it's you producing the member report or you member, and then think how you show to your non-members a little sneak peek to that. And think about the framework. Sometimes I have the question, Olena, but if we deliver so much to non-members, why would they join? Then they don't see the value of joining because you share so much content. So think about this in this way. To your non-members, tell what to do. To your members, tell how to do it. So to your non-members, tell the new regulations are coming, and if you are not follow the regulations, you will be fined. You need to adjust your practice to, to be aligned with this regulation. So you tell them what to do. You need to be aligned, otherwise you will be fined. To your members, you tell how to do it. So you run a practical webinar on how to align your business operations to this new regulation. Or for example, I can tell you, in order for you to build the pipeline, you need to create the landing page. It's a great tool for you to build the audience, but you will need to come to a marketing professional and ask, so Olena, so how do you actually build this landing page? And this is what we kind of share with, so for your non-members, what you need to do, what great tool exists, or, create this little fear of, what missed opportunities are there. And for your members, you actually provide the tools on how to do it.
And when would be the best time to ask for renewing the membership? During conferences, post-conferences, by the end of the year?
So I can tell you, your membership renewal campaign starts when members join or renew. That's the time when your membership renewal campaign starts. I can tell you, most of you would be watching something like Netflix, some kind of subscription video. They don't run any renewal campaign, right? They don't need, because if you come on Friday and your credit card expired and you didn't pay for it, and you turn on your video on Friday and it didn't renew and it turned off, you're like, oh, I need to renew, right? They don't run because you need them. They provide the value, and you will notice this by yourself. So if you provide the value in your membership, it's not going to be the question. It will be just sending the invoice, and they will pay it with no questions. If you need to run the renewal campaign, it means that the value is not there. So it's more about engaging and making sure your members engaged rather than pushing them with the renewal campaign. But if we're talking about the traditional renewal campaign, I would always check in with members halfway through the member journey. So let's say in these 6 months, and just make sure that you send something. So you identify those members who haven't engaged with you in 6 months and send something to them to re-engage. So you identify the list of members who didn't go to any of your events, who haven't opened any of the emails, and try to reconnect with them in one way or another. Sometimes it would be the email automation sequence. Sometimes it would be something like, this is the $50 voucher for your next training that you need to use in 2 weeks. Sometimes it will be something, a phone call, but you need to find a way how to re-engage, to make them go to the gym and to start feeling this, the member benefits. Then make this type of connection 3 months before, again, identify those re-engaged members, and then you're sending the invoice 8 weeks before. Yes, so that's kind of would be the frequency for me.
All right, excellent. So any other questions from colleagues or attendees?
Hello, Olena. How are you?
Hi.
I'm Yasmin. Olena, I just want to ask you something, okay? It's regarding the competitors. I know it's, for me, I work with medical societies, okay? So I have a problem. For example, the benefits for my membership, for my members, it will be the CME for a course or an event or a conference, okay? There is others competitors who are giving the same and without any membership or anything for free, for example. This is a big and a huge problem for me. When I'm listing the benefits of the society, I'm running mostly, I have 9 societies in my portfolio with different medical types. The most difficult thing to find it or to gain more members is the benefits regarding the CME, the networking. This I know it very good. But on the other side, my competitors giving the same benefits without any charge. It's not a society. Maybe they are
Yes,
only providing a
yes,
conference or something like this. So I want to know your point of view for this.
Yeah, yes, you remember the member health metrics and by
Yes.
member sleep, and there was this situation and there is no value. Unfortunately, you are in this quadrant where you need to find what can you do differently to your competitors. So, for example, if you're delivering the same course, but they deliver this for free, obviously people will go there. So what can you do better? Whether it's a micro learning or it's something that you only or they can only get some kind of little part of the course that they can only get with you, or it's the speaker that you can engage. For example, our knowledge. So let's say we work with the Australian Menopause Society. Obviously, you can read information about menopause everywhere on the internet. They don't even compete with other associations. They compete with the whole internet. The whole Instagram is full of information about menopause. So how they position this is that we only post peer-reviewed clinical evidence information. It's not just, so where you can trust. So you kind of find this thing that differentiate you from your members. And I can tell you it's very hard because you remember how I mentioned that every single corporate organization now providing community. The businesses, the commercial businesses started seeing the value of content of the community, something that associations been doing traditionally for hundreds of years. Now all the businesses, we're running the conference, we're building the community, we're providing the free content in order to, so we have to compete with this reality, and it's hard. And it's hard. So my recommendation for you here would be run member survey to understand why your members choose you, and make sure that you can amplify these benefits to others and to show why others choose you. In comparison to your parents, and just highlight this point of differentiation. Just find this point of differentiation and highlight it. It's a difficult situation to be in.
Yes, thank you, Olena, so much. Thank you.
Not a problem. Anyone else?
Yes, I have a question, please.
Okay.
First of all, thank you, Olena, for this interesting presentation. My question is, do you recommend creating a separate social media pages for events, or it's more effective to keep all the event promotion integrated within the main association page?
Absolutely not. Your event social media will never get the traction, because when your account starts to be seen by algorithm, when you start creating these member story posts, the community sharing posts, when people start liking, sharing, when you start tagging people, when they start being involved, this is when your account becomes active, and then the algorithm will show your promotional posts, like event posts too. If you are sending that like just posts only and you have no engagement on your social media posts, the social media algorithms see you as a spammer. They will just never, it will be very dormant. So absolutely not. It needs to be in. So if I, for example, I'm scrolling the Facebook and you share a story of my colleague that I was in the university with, I will like it. I will comment on it. I will maybe share it to my friend. Then in a few days, I will see in my feed the post from your page again, because the Facebook saw that I interacted with your page and it saw, she likes it, so I will show her a little bit more of this. But I need to interact with something. I'm not gonna like your event page, event post. I may look through it and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a conference, I may go, right? but I will like something that triggers my attention, that resonates with me, or like, you know, that's something that talks about my problems and asks me, you know, what do you has your business been affected with all the fuel that we're having, fuel shortages that we're having around the world? And it's like, oh, that's about me. Yes, my business has been affected. I replied, and I may see your event page. If I'm not engaging with your page, I'm not going to see it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I think we'll take the last question from the chat from Trichan. So she's asking about we don't have the time to post 20 peer review or high quality social media posts every month. So if we have to choose between the high quality post or more frequently shared post, should we choose the quantity over quality?
Yes, you might, but you will need to choose. Just make sure that this quality are not your event promotion only. Because we tend to, if we don't have time for social media, we tend to use promote, sell, sell, sell. And this is exactly what doesn't work. I want you to think about, look, as I mentioned, look at your member benefit post. If you have 12 benefits in your community, you have 12 social media posts for the rest of the year. Just sit down, use AI, use hour and a half of your time, and use Canva, and you create the posts for the whole year ahead. Just about your member benefits. Create the little tool where you ask people, what's your name, why you joined the association, what what you like the most about your profession. People enter the tool, send this to Claude or ChatGPT. Can you write eight word article about this? And you create the article about this member. You're not just asking ChatGPT to create something. You're telling the story of your member. It just helps you to wordsmith. Look, we run very small business, and we are very active on social media at this day and age, and using AI and all the tools. There is no such thing as we don't have time to create social media posts. It really doesn't take that much time. It's my personal. I know it sounds a little bit harsh, but it's true.
Excellent.
And if you're not there, your competitors will.
Yes, you're right. Thank you so much, Olena, for the presentation, for the experience and engaging the discussion today. Thanks a lot for everyone who joined the session and the participation and your time. And we look forward for continuing the discussion within the subcommittee of marketing for the INCON membership, and looking forward for future successful sessions with you and all members. And once again, have a wonderful day. The recording of the session will be present on the website of INCON for all INCON members, employees. Thank you so much again. Looking forward to see you next month. And have a wonderful day for everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Thank
Aaron. Have a good day.